There's finally a hint of autumn crispness in the air, and the flannels are emerging from their cedar chests, which means A, Halloween is basically uponst us. B, the kids are headed back to school. And C, everyone's uncle is excited about game season. But while the jocks are rushing outside to their sports balls, the indoor boys are holding tight to their 20-sided dice and doing what they do best, staying indoors. This hobby collectors, we're giving a breakdown on why IRL indoor games are good, sharing our personal favorite and most despised IRL games, both board and boardless, and helping you find the perfect game for a fun night of recreational arguing with the whole family. Then Kristin dickers down and says yes to cookies of all kinds. Grace tramps in the yard and has a stinky attitude about team sports. And we both reach deep into the shame bucket to reveal some controversial pizza secrets that you may judge us for, but we don't give a shit.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather, weirds of a feather.
Kristin, can you please put your bird sounds away? It's time to record this episode.
I'm doing some really serious research on YouTube about bird sounds.
It's jarring to the ears.
It's a 10-minute compilation of the world's weirdest bird sounds.
And that they are.
I thought the last bod was odd, but apparently there are odder birds
that is one odd bud.
One odd bud.
This is DJ Jerry, and that is one odd bud, Kristin.
That's wild. Welcome to Where's a Feather, an AuDHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Kristin.
And I'm your host, Grace.
And this is part 2 for our back to school themed, but not really.
Yeah, we were going to kind of half-ass a back to school theme. We did half-ass a back to school theme.
Yeah, we did. I think we half-assed it well.
Yeah, we always do. So pack up your backpacks and put on your plaid skirt. I specifically remember having an outfit that was a plaid skirt.
Oh, yeah.
For like the first day of first grade.
Yeah, because skirts were like super in.
Yeah, and I was like really excited about it.
Welcome to Weirds of Feather, an AuDHD-Adjacent podcast. I just said this. Fuck.
We're already in it.
We're already in it. Well, fuck. Let's just start.
Well, we can do a warm up question. We can just kind of.
Oh wait! I got a warm up question.
Okay,
here we go. Okay, we saw a bunch of butterflies on our walk today.
Don't I know it?
Yeah, they were all different sizes, including different size monarchs.
Yeah.
Do you think when you come out of your cocoon as a monarch butterfly and you finally like dry out your wings and stuff, do you grow after that?
Whoa.
Are you like the same size?
You're right. I hadn't really thought of it because I've been seeing them outside my window and I'm like, oh, baby monarchs. But then it's like, what are baby monarchs?
That would be a caterpillar.
Yeah.
Right? And then they cocoon. So like, I guess my question is like, are there different size monarchs or are they about the same size? And then if there are different sizes, do you grow as a butterfly?
Yeah.
When you eat all the food?
Grow? Or do they do all their growing in the cocoon?
In the cocoon, and then they just pop out and they're like, this is the size I am.
Or are those like, teenage monarchs?
Right.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
And I literally hadn't thought about it.
Nah, I thought about it today.
I'm glad you did.
I'm glad I shared it.
Because now we're here.
Yeah. If you know anything about butterflies, please write us in at weirdsofeather@gmail.com. We would love to hear your butterfly knowledge. Ooh, I have a butterfly fact.
All right.
Yeah.
What you got?
So butterflies, when the name was first termed,
butterflies
they were actually called flutterbys. And then someone had really bad handwriting, and when they were like turning in their
were
name,
they dyslexic?
Well, it was like someone wrote flutter by because of they kind of like flutter by. It like makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does butterfly mean? They don't like butter.
Butterfly.
No.
Oh.
And so someone read that as butterfly instead of flutterby, and now we have butterflies instead of flutterbys.
Oh, very interesting.
I don't know where I learned that, but I know it's true because I believe it in my whole heart.
Well, if you believe it, then it must be.
Yeah.
I think that dyslexia was involved in there somewhere, either the writer or the reader.
Yeah, one
Switch
of them.
them around.
Yeah, I think it's the reader because then the reader passed it along as butterfly. That was the weakest link. That was the rate limiting step. If we want to go back to chemistry,
I do not,
as we always do.
No.
Okay.
No.
Please
Please
no.
no. Please no.
Should we get into This Is Who I Am now?
Yeah, let's crack on into it.
All right. This time it's different. Everything has changed. This is who I am now.
This is who I am now.
Nailed it.
That's great.
It just took a couple times.
Yeah, just a few practices.
Edit the mess ups out.
Yeah, you guys will have no idea.
Yeah, it'll sound perfect.
Yep. All right, Kristin, tell me, who are you now?
I am a watch wearer. I have a watch. I got a watch, and now I wear that watch, and now I know the time.
Were you a watch wearer in high school?
I was a watch wearer in grad school.
Did you have a purple watch?
I did not.
Okay.
I wish I had a purple watch.
Maybe I'm just associating you with purple, and then
I have purple pants.
Maybe.
And my brother
pants.
privately told me, he took me aside and told me that purple pants are no longer cool and that I need to get rid of my purple pants.
How old were you?
Third grade.
No longer cool, Nick. Are you serious? That was the peak of purple pants.
They were purple jeans. They were like lavender jeans.
That's hip,
right?
You were ahead of the trend.
Like, listen, Kristin, the purple pants aren't cool.
As a fifth grader, let me tell you what's cool. Okay, Nick.
Who wears monster t-shirts, you know?
I know.
And not like the beverage, but just like cool, like funky monsters.
Like, yeah, just straight up monsters. Yeah, like you cared about fashion at all.
Right.
Justice for the purple pants.
I know.
All right, anyway, sorry.
Bring the purple pants back.
I derailed the watch combo.
Yeah, I'm a watch wearer. I know the time, and I wish I had my purple pants back.
Yep, I do too.
That's it. Grace, who are you now?
I am a yard tramper.
Heck yeah. You want to just divulge on that a little bit?
No, you guys get it. You either get it or you don't.
Yeah, no, I think we just need a little bit more of an explanation.
All right, fine. So last episode, I think I mentioned that I took my little personal trampoline. Personal pampoline. I'm making this work. My personal pampoline out in the yard. And I have myself a little jump, looking at the clouds, having a lovely time. Great start to my morning. Got my last podcast going. You can use any podcast you want, but objectively, last podcast is the best. Other than this one.
Excuse me. No, I just found a new D&D podcast.
Yeah.
And it's called Girls Who Don't D&D. And it's these
That's made for you.
I know.
Is this your podcast?
First of all, it's the cutest fucking podcast because everybody's so supportive. And they're all Australian. Love Australia.
Australian.
And they're like, all right, let's go, girls. Let's get them. Good job. And they're like super supportive of each other. It's the most adorable thing I've ever heard.
All right. That sounds lovely.
You should definitely try it.
I probably won't. Anyways, I like what I like, you know?
Yeah, I know, but
I don't care about Dungeons and Dragons at all.
It's not about the Dungeons and Dragons. It's about the camaraderie and the storytelling.
I feel like I have enough camaraderie. Yeah, I might check it out. Maybe.
It's very cute.
Okay. Maybe you play it while I'm around and then I'll hear it. Okay. And I'll either be interested or not.
That's fair.
Anyway, I brought my little trampoline out into the yard because I like a trampoline workout. I'm not really doing a structured workout. I'm not like those people that have like go to the class and they're holding on to the bar and they're like whoa, 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 like going so hard.
Jump.
Yeah, I don't.
Side to side.
Yeah, I'm not doing that out in my yard by myself.
You're just like leisurely bouncing.
Yeah, I'm just picture a real simple girl out in the yard, just staring up at the sky, mouth agape, just like
That sounds lovely.
Listening to a murder podcast. Yeah, it's really lovely, and I'm just having a really great time. I do it every day now because it doesn't even feel like work. It's just is just enjoyable and delightful, and it gets me outside and it gets me moving, and I like a good jump. So I am a yard tramper.
I'm proud of you.
Also, speaking of that, I've been considering, so we now have like a fenced in backyard, but there are still people who can see into the yard, like from their decks or whatever. But I think if I did this, maybe they wouldn't be able to see me. But if they did, it'd be weird. I've been thinking of trying crawling in the yard. I have my knee pads.
No, you got to try it.
Yeah.
You have knee pads?
Yeah, I got
from
knee
rollerblading?
pads. No, I got them for crawling.
They're like crawling specific?
No, I couldn't find those. I think they're for like volleyball or whatever. They're just for like knee activities. Knee-based activities. And so I got some knee pads because I was doing it around the house. And I've been thinking I would probably want some kind of glove though, because I'm allergic to grass and it's just scratchy. So I don't think I want to go barehanded in the grass. But I could go, because we have a pretty big backyard.
You have a huge
I
backyard.
could crawl around that yard.
I think you should.
And
you know what? Your neighbors will never bother you.
Yeah,
they'll be like, that is a yard we do not. Nope.
I don't know what she's doing out there.
Yeah,
she's
totally fine.
Listening to a satanic podcast and crawling in the yard every morning. I don't know what kind of magic this is.
She's not crawling, she's tramping.
Ooh, yeah, exactly. I'm either crawling or I'm tramping.
I think you know what? Screw your neighbors.
Yeah.
Do what you like.
Maybe do what you like.
You're not hurting anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Crawling
agree.
hurts no one. It only gives.
Oh, the official slogan of crawling in the yard. Yeah, I feel like I could switch on and off maybe every other day, because the crawling will give me an upper bod workout.
Yeah.
And then the tramping, I get,
It's a
legs.
full body.
Yeah, full body. I got my little stretcher elastic band. My little
I love this.
workout band.
/ maybe instead of a walkie, can we go for a crawl?
Yeah.
I don't have knee pads, but I could use your rollerblading knee pads if
Yes,
you don't
you could.
mind.
Yeah. And that'll be even weirder of the two of us crawling around the yard.
Now there's 2 of them crawling.
Every week we add one more
Our
person.
numbers grow.
Every week our crawling numbers grow. Yeah. Anyways.
That's great.
I derailed us. Yard tramper. That's
nice.
me.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Should we get into our quirks?
Yeah, we should.
All right. Hold on. I feel like I haven't kazooed in a while.
Yeah, but you haven't zooed.
I know. I miss it.
Holy shit, it's like she never left.
You can never leave the zoo.
The zoo never leaves you.
All right.
All right.
Oh, wait. The
Little-
zoo left me a
little
little
rusty.
bit.
Some people call me spacey, some people call me fun, but I'm just quirky. Went a little high on that one.
I
had
liked
to
it.
as well.
The higher the better.
That's what I always say.
Can I tell you about my quirks?
Please.
This one you, Grace, have pointed out to me. I did not know it was a quirk until you publicly shamed me in front of all
I
of our
wasn't
friends.
shaming you. I was bringing it up. I thought it was a funny, quirky thing about
It
you.
was a funny, quirky thing. I have a calendar. We have a whiteboard calendar, and it's color coordinated, and it's so... I have been told by my significant other, Christopher, that I am a poor communicator.
You.
Yes. So now we have a calendar so we can tell. I kept forgetting to tell him when I was on call, and then I get called in and he's like, I didn't even know you were on call. Anyway, so now we have a calendar. Apparently.
Not apparently. It's just a fact.
Facts. Okay, facts. All my scheduled events also have question marks.
All of them. The whole month. Everything she has on the calendar has a question mark after it. Recording? Question mark?
Yeah. Christopher Mom visits? Question mark? Grace
Cookout?
visits? Question mark?
Question mark? Yeah, every single one of them.
Yeah, call? Question mark? I gotta look that one up. I should figure that one out. So nothing is planned solid.
Nothing's set in sand.
Everything's kind of up in the air, but that's how I live my life. You know what? It's on the calendar.
It is. Well, part of why I called you out is because you really were bragging about the calendar. You're so proud of the calendar.
Yeah, you know what? I've been trying really hard with the calendar.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, and both you and our friend Gracie said that I wouldn't keep the calendar up, but guess who keep the calendar up? It's me.
I didn't say you wouldn't. I just said good luck. Because I know my own experience with the calendar.
You know what? That sounded really pessimistic.
Good luck.
And that was a little bit hurtful.
Genuinely
Genuinely
rooting for you.
pessimistic.
Good luck, Kristin. Oh, I hope you do well.
Yeah.
I hope you stick with this habit.
Stupid calendar. I like our calendar.
I believe in you. I do believe in you, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're doing it.
It's, you know what? It's been actually very beneficial.
It's also funny that it is a dry erase, and yet the question mark is still there. It's not like it's written in pen. Like if you wrote recording day.
I didn't know you guys were coming
and
out.
then we ended up not
I wasn't
recording.
going to believe it until you were there. You did come an hour and a half late.
Yeah, because, okay, the problem with that is you said, when we were talking about the time, you said, all right, let's do 1, so aka 2. So in my head, I was like, okay, so 2.
No.
And then I was late off of
and
the
then
2.
You were
So I was 45 minutes late.
So I should have told you 12:30,
Yes.
so you could be there by 1:30.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. Even if you had just said, try to get here by 1, I would have made it by 2.
I'm sorry.
You need to let me
didn't know you were going to be an hour and a half late.
You have to let me add the time buffer in, you know?
Okay,
You can't tell me the time buffer because the time buffer is now the new time.
Okay.
You know?
My mistake about the time buffer.
Thank you.
Next time I will just tell you to come at noon.
Yeah, be there at noon. I'll be there at 2.
Yeah.
It'll work out great.
Perfect.
Yep. All right. Number 2, in reference to computer technology, because we are kind of computer whizzes. Yes, we are.
Yep.
We certainly are.
We certainly are. Hardware versus software.
I know the difference.
Yeah.
Hardware is on the outside. It's external, Christopher.
It's hard.
It's hard. That's how you know it's a hardware.
So in reference to computer technology, I don't know what a cookie is. I'm like almost too afraid to ask, but now I'm like publicly saying I have no idea what a cookie is.
I'll be honest, I don't really know what a cookie is either.
And however, I'm always consenting to cookies. In
I feel
IRL
upset
cookies and computer cookies.
Yes to cookies all around.
Yeah.
I don't want the cookies, even though I don't know what they are.
It's always like, we use cookies. And I'm like, great. I love
so
cookies.
Do I. We already have something in common.
Yeah.
This is going to work out well. Yeah, I don't really know what cookies are.
Cookies, of course.
I know that it like tracks your data. It like tracks your shit.
I don't know. I don't know. I just click OK.
Take my cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why the word cookies? Where did that come
do
from?
something like not as pleasant, and maybe I would think like twice about it.
That's probably why they do it, because
like,
it's not
just cookies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, everyone loves a cookie,
it's
girl.
like, let's sell your data.
Yeah, and you're like, yum yum yum.
Give me them cookies. Chocolate chip.
Munch, munch, munch.
And then I think I've already talked about this before on an earlier episode, but once again, Kristin and Christopher almost break up over a decorating issue. Literally so overwhelmed. I am always so overwhelmed by decorating, and we literally had to hang a series of 4 pictures, and I thought for sure I was going to like sleep on the couch for a month. Like, I don't know why we like just the long story is is that he was basing everything off the TV. So he wanted the TV in the center of the wall, and then he wanted 2 pictures on one side, 2 pictures on the other side. And I was basing everything off of the couch, and I wanted the couch more to the side because the flow of the room would be better, but then the TV would be off to the side, which Christopher didn't like because then the pictures would be offside. But I said, if you had the couch dead center of the room, that's going to be really bad for the flow. And then the accent chair is going to be squished over in the corner, and that's not going to be good. And we can't just put the accent chair on the other side of the couch because that would disrupt the flow when you come down the stairs to the basement. You wouldn't be able to just walk freely into the room because the accent chair would be there. So it would totally mess off the flow of the room. We compromised and everything's fine.
You're really good at getting yourself escalated.
Almost broke me to hang those 4 fucking pictures, but we did it.
Yay!
I can't wait to decorate the rest of the house.
Yeah, that was fucking 4 pictures.
4 pictures.
God forbid paint comes into the mix.
Yeah, I know. No, Christopher said he already has a plan. He's like, we're going to get every paint swatch imaginable, and we're going to go from there.
Nice.
We may have to repaint a room twice, but that's okay.
I feel like that's going to take you forever to decide.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're so quirky.
Yay. What are your quirks?
All right. Quirk number 1.
Yeah.
Ian and I love to name the bird couples that live around us. We've always loved to name bird couples. Just give them a cute little name. Like you see a couple
mating birding pairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know, mourning doves that are always coming around to your house.
Yeah.
Or ducks or whatever. Give them a little couple's name. And when you see them, you chant the name at them. Our two best bird couples have been Laird and Patricia. Those are two mourning doves.
I love the name Laird.
So do I.
That's
I think it's so funny.
Name.
Especially for a mourning dove named Laird. Perfection.
That's so great.
And actually, Laird and Patricia laid eggs on our balcony in Virginia when we lived together our first year. And then they abandoned their eggs.
What the fuck?
Fucking Laird and Patricia.
Fucking Laird? Come on.
Yeah, it was really disappointing.
You know what? I would expect this from Patricia, but Laird?
Yeah, I would have expected better. They abandoned their nest. We were really upset. This was like probably 5 years ago. We now have a new mourning dove couple coming to our house here. And we're like, it's Laird and Patricia. They're back.
They're back. They followed you.
And now they're finally coming to set things right by having some babies and raising them properly, Laird.
Where's their nest?
Like a responsible father. I don't know.
Laird and Patricia too?
Yeah. Back in Patricia. Yeah, so we got Laird and Patricia, and then we had a couple of ducks when we lived in Pine Point named Charles and Marjorie.
Oh.
Whenever we would see them, we would chant Charles and Marjorie, Charles and Marjorie.
I love this. This is adorable.
So that's a fun one. So duck couples, I guess. I don't know what's wrong with me. Number 2, I am the sloppiest teeth brusher and face washer of all time. I mentioned it last time of how when I wash my face, it's just like a tidal wave of water.
Okay.
I get the whole counter absolutely soaked. The floor is
Olay
dripping.
face commercial where they're like,
woo, splashing. And yeah, I literally do that and it gets everywhere. I don't know how to stop. I try.
Just wash your face in the shower. When you
I
take
do
a shower.
sometimes, but what if I'm not taking a shower? That's the problem. I only wash my face when I'm in the shower because otherwise it's going to go everywhere.
Okay,
my shirt's going to be soaked.
Here's the thing. I have the perfect plan.
Okay.
You brush your teeth first. Get messy.
Yeah.
Really slop it up. Just doing a good job.
Yeah.
Then wash your face. Get all the toothpaste off your face, right?
Yeah.
Then do quick wipe down of the sink.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I usually do that, but the wipe down is a lot, and then I'm all wet. It's just,
and then you change into your PJs.
Yeah, you're right.
Your night clothes, as my nephews call them.
My night clothes. Working on my night clothes.
Oh man, I was like, go get your PJs on. They're like, you mean my night clothes? And I was like, jeez, I didn't know we were like Victorian era, like children.
I know. Your dressing gown, your night clothes. They're not clothes, they're pajamas.
Oh my God.
Night clothes. I like that one. All right. And number 3, playing sports growing up, I was either moved down to the B team or kicked off the team completely because of my attitude. And this happened multiple times. It happened on my travel soccer team when I was probably in like 6th or 7th grade. Haley and I were on this travel soccer team.
Remember that?
Yeah. We were on the A team and I was a very good player, but my attitude was stinky.
I love it.
So I was moved down to the B team to teach me a lesson. And it did for a little bit, because then I did it again in high school. Like I've mentioned before, I think I wasn't also getting the proper help that I needed to be enjoying myself at soccer practice. I kind of had an attitude, where I felt like it was boring because it was fucking boring. Sorry, Matt. It was boring.
Soccer's boring sometimes.
But then I went down to the B team and it taught me a lot of things. But then I did it again in high school.
Don't trust the coach.
Yeah. Don't reveal your ADHD needs because he'll move you down to the B team.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, senior year, softball, the coach was Mr. Karen, not the history teacher. The tall, creepy Mr. Karen, the math teacher, old as sin.
Nope. Don't remember him.
Well, you don't need to. He was the softball coach. He was really scary. He made it so it wasn't fun, which that's when I stopped liking sports.
It's like literally like it's high school. Like, I don't know.
Who cares? Who cares?
How about this? It's sports. Who cares?
Yes,
who cares?
It's sports. Who cares?
Doesn't care. It's
it stopped
as long as everybody's having a good time, right?
Yeah, man. I don't perform well under pressure at all. And softball is like the number 1 worst sport for that because it's like just you up there up to bat. Oh, it's so stressful.
We already talked about my softball issues.
Yes, we did. Yours was
it's
more
very
attention.
Boring.
Yeah. And so I was just like fucking around at tryouts and having a stinky attitude yet again. And I think I technically made the team, but it was essentially like, we're only letting you on because you're a good player, but your attitude sucks and we don't want you on the team. And so I quit and I cried all day. Now I'm over it.
Now you're over it.
Whatever.
Made you a better person.
Yeah, kind of.
Uh,
Those were both, I don't know.
maybe.
Halfway my fault. No, I would say a quarter my fault because they're the adults and they should be coaching me the way that I needed a coach. And I stand by that.
Yeah, where they should actually like make the sport enjoyable.
Yeah, and not make it like the most competitive, stressful, unfun thing
like,
ever.
This is going to get you through college. It's not. It's going to get one person through college.
And that person is Leslie, pitcher. And she did.
Yeah.
But for the rest of us, no. And why can't we just keep this game fun?
Right.
This is why I'm a yard tramper now. I hate the competitive sports.
Right.
I just want to bounce by myself in the yard and have no one counting on me.
I remember in JV, because in JV, they're like, we'll let everybody play, right? Because you're like supposed to be building up your skills so you can go to varsity. And I remember we got a new field hockey JV coach, and she's like, I'm going to treat you just like varsity. So if you're not good, you're not going to get playing time. And I was like, well, fuck. Like,
you were good though.
Well, because I was like, I want playing time. So I just practiced a bunch, and then I realized I could hit a ball wicked hard.
Yeah, you were good.
Yeah, but I remember that was like the most miserable day finding that out. And I'm like, okay, well, like, sports are no longer fun is what I like came to realize. Like, now this is just work.
They ruined it for you.
Yeah, they totally ruined it. I mean, I liked it because I think I just like exercise, and I liked hanging out with all the girls.
Yeah, the team camaraderie was really fun.
The best part about sports was like the camaraderie of the team.
Yeah.
And running around and hitting stuff. But like, yeah, I remember
don't need
being
the stress or the pressure.
Super, super disappointed because I was like, I was prepared for that for varsity. It was varsity, you have to work hard. But I was like, I'm on JV. Coast is clear. I can just like have a good time. And we all play, and it doesn't really matter. But apparently it did. And I was like, fuck.
It's funny that you were motivated to work hard to get more playing time, because even though I played sports my whole life, all the time I was like, don't put me in, don't put me in, don't put me in. Yeah. Even though I like it once I'm out there.
Yeah.
The transition into it and the stress of like everyone's watching me, I just don't like it. I remember always being on the soccer bench being like, not me. I'm like, even though I signed up for it, I don't know if I like.
I don't think you like sports.
I don't know if I liked playing sports.
I don't think you like sports at all.
No.
It sounds like you just really hated sports, but you were forced into it. And
I liked it when I was younger because it was fun, and then it stopped being fun. And like being put into a varsity soccer game is really, there's people there. It's really stressful. The coach is going to get mad if you don't do well or whatever. I don't perform well under pressure. I have asthma. It's triggered especially by being stressed that I'm not going to be able to breathe. It was just like the combination of all of it was really bad. So
I think you don't like sports.
Yeah. I think I don't like sports. I like climbing because you're by yourself. I don't like people counting on me.
I like the team. I'm a team builder.
I would like to hang out with a group of people and we're all doing our own thing.
I like
that.
No, I like the team. I like working together as a team, and I like seeing my teammates do well.
See, I'm just too stressed about me not doing well. I have to do well. I have to be good. I have to be the best at things.
It's about the team.
I know, but I can't let go of that.
Like a capitalist right now. You got to think.
I'm saying this is the problem, is that I have all this stress because of the way that sports are played growing up. I also
really hated softball because I didn't like the pressure of going up into bat.
Yes.
You know, but
it's like everything that happens is like almost always like a just you mistake.
It's a just you mistake. But, you know, also I think being on defense, you could always blame offense. Well, if offense would just like do their job, we wouldn't have to work so hard.
It's offense's fault.
It's always offense's fault.
All right. Anyways, that was
why
a long
is the defense
derail.
tired? Because the offense sucks. Anyway,
I'm so quirky.
All right,
let's crack into this. We always say whenever we say
go.
Let's make this a short episode.
It's never short. It takes as long as it takes.
Let me monologue about high school softball for 25 minutes.
Yeah, we could probably cut that out.
This episode is brought to you by Crawling in the Yard. Hi, I'm Barbara Gunt, and I started the Crawling in the Yard Coalition to increase public awareness about, you guessed it, crawling in the yard. Here at Crawling in the Yard, our official slogan is this: crawling in the yard hurts no one, it only gives. So get to crawling in that yard today. Your neighbors are gonna hate it. We guarantee it.
We have a hobby collectors for you, but can we play the song first?
Oh, yeah, we got Jane's song.
Yeah, Jane's song, I love it.
We are the collectors. These are
collectors.
I love it.
It's so funny.
Hobby collectors.
And the best part about it is we don't have to do our own hobby collector song.
It's so much better. It's so much better.
We're all happier.
Yeah. Thank you, Jean, once again. This week, we are doing hobby collectors. We're calling this IRL games for indoor boys.
Yes, we are.
So we did do video games, one of our earlier episodes, and now we want to do like board games and such.
But then we realized we didn't just want to talk about board games. We
Right.
also want to talk about things like
Boardless
categories.
games.
Yeah.
Boardless games.
Yeah, boardless games.
Bananagrams.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good
so
one.
then it became IRL games.
For indoor boys.
As in real life, for those of you who...
Yeah. We also realized we're doing a lot of like hardcore outdoor activities, rollerblading, skiing,
etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to give some, accessible ones as well that you can do from the leisure and comfort of your own home.
Exactly. Yeah. Why are games good?
Why are they good, Kristin? Tell us.
Let me tell you.
Please.
I love games. We were just
All right,
talking
that's why
about how
they're
much
good.
we hated sports games, but
Yep.
let's talk about board games
Okay.
and IRL games.
See, I don't feel the pressure in a board game because I don't feel like it ties into my
I get
identity.
stupid competitive.
Yeah, I guess I am pretty competitive, but like I'm not crushed. I'm not embarrassed by doing poorly. I just want to win, but I'm not like embarrassed if I don't do well in a board game. Whereas like sports, I'm like, I'm good at this. This is my identity. I have to be good at this or else it's embarrassing.
I think that makes me sad.
Yeah, same.
I think board games, I get competitive, but it depends. I get competitive to a point, and then I'm just like, fuck it, and I quit.
You do. You are a feisty game player.
Yeah.
I am as well.
You are as well. Okay, so did I ever tell you about the time I tried to play categories with my coworkers when I lived in Washington?
Yes, I think you did because I also had a similar experience.
And everybody
with
was like,
categories.
oh, good job on that word. That was a good word. I was like, that doesn't count. That's not a real word for that category. Like someone put brown bear and wanted a double B.
No, dude. That's
I'm
an
like,
adjective.
That's an adjective.
You could do brown anything.
Brown anything. And so I was like arguing my point, and they're like, okay, I guess so. And I'm like,
no, bicker
wait,
with me.
I need the argument. That's what makes it so fun. Like, oh yeah, anybody can like agree, but
That's boring.
oh my God,
that's
that's
some conviction. Stand by
right,
your answer.
Stand by your answer. And then I was so upset because no one was arguing with me, and I was like, this is the dumbest game of categories. You guys are weak.
What, we all just like put our answers and
Right.
then like get along?
Right. I had a boyfriend at the time, and we tried to play categories, and they were, first of all neurotypical, but second of all West Coasters who are like super laid back, chill West Coast.
Ugh. And you are a tightly
And
strong New
they're like,
Englander.
who is this New England girl who is yelling at me? I just wanted to put down periwinkle.
No, and I'll tell you why. Well, ask Lily the last time we played categories, it was me doing that and screaming, and she used to get fired up too.
Lily,
I don't know, what have you grown up? Ugh.
Ignite the fire.
Yeah, man. But I think it was me and Jeff, her now husband Jeff. I think we were like fighting with each other.
Yeah.
I specifically remember a fight about Gorp. Could I put Gorp down as a snack food?
That is a snack food.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jeff and I were shouting at each other.
It's a recognized snack food.
And Lily would pull the thing where she's like, fine, let's just change it. I'm like, no.
The whole point of categories is that you're supposed to yell at each other.
That's the game.
Right?
The words are just
We're taking a
flow,
poll.
help flow the conversation.
We're
help
taking
flow
a
the
poll.
argument.
The fun of categories, yay or nay, is the arguing.
Yes. Yeah.
Recreational arguing. Oh my God. It's
Yes.
because we're neurodivergent.
Yeah, obviously.
Fucking A. It all
Of course
comes
it
back
is.
to that.
It's always
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me tell you why board games are good.
Okay.
Because they bring people together.
over arguing.
Over arguing
It's a great-
sometimes.
when you and someone else are on the same side and you're giving it to someone else where you're like, no, there's nothing more bonding than that. Honestly.
I think we're a different breed of people. Now that we're really getting into it. I love recreational arguing so much.
Same. And
I would watch the Patriots just so I could argue with non-Patriots people in Washington.
Yes. I was going to say,
How many
you and
Patriots
I-
games have I watched since I've been back in New England? 0.
Yeah.
It's no fun. There's no argument.
You just want to be difficult. Everyone's on your side.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So they bring people together, usually over arguing. They sometimes require strategy sometimes, except for Candyland. I want to talk about Candyland for a second. Later.
I hate Candyland.
You hate Candyland?
Well, because there's no strategy.
There's no strategy. It's just
frustrating.
Pure chaos. Yeah, so frustrating. Same with Chutes and Ladders.
Yes. Oh, I was gonna say Chutes and Ladders.
It's crazy because you just like, I hope it works out.
Yep. And those games are also very hard to play with kids. Like as a speech therapist, I would play a bunch of games with kids, and I've nannied a ton. And so, I don't like to let kids win, but there's some kids where you don't want to like fucking obliterate them, where it's going to be like, this is not going to be fun for anyone. And with those two games, because you have no control over it, like sometimes I would just absolutely dominate a kid. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And he's like crying. I'm not doing this on purpose.
That's good for the kid. It's good for him to lose like that. I guess as my sister-in-law would say, as she was absolutely crushing her sons in Mario Party, we look at her, we're like, wow, you're like up by like 4 stars. And she like looks at us and she goes, there's no going easy in Mario Party. It's like, your son's like 6. He's like about to cry.
Oh yeah, my own kids I would probably go hard. And some kids I do. But there's some kids where it's like, it's not worth the crying. I'm just trying to get through the speech session. Yeah. And now I'm just like really upsetting you by how much I'm beating you. Yeah.
Well, okay. So some games take strategy, risk.
Yep.
We can talk about that in a little bit. Some games take skill, like operation. That's like a skill that you need to have to do that.
I do not have that skill.
Some take teamwork, depending on, even in like Risk, you can team up on someone. That's kind of nice. And in collaboration, I think there's a lot of, kind of some bonding there. There's a lot of good things.
I agree.
Games you love. Favorite game?
I do love categories.
I do love scats. It's because of the arguing, though. And
I also love the words. I love word games. I love word games.
I hate bananagrams because I'm really bad at it.
Plus arguing, ideal.
I just like the arguing.
And you can come up with clever answers also. So it really is like the ideal game for me.
It's creative. It makes you creative.
Yes. I do love bananagrams, but even with bananagrams, you're just building words that have to already exist. Categories, I just feel like there's even
playing bananagrams with Christopher, I've never felt so dumb.
You and Ian should play together. Yeah. Because Ian does not like bananagrams. It takes him, he's very
slow.
I am very fast.
Ian and I can play bananagrams together. Yeah, and you and Christopher can play bananagrams too.
Because it's not fun to play with.
Christopher's like writing out like hippopotamus in bananagrams, and I'm like, I've got mom.
Oh, I'm cruising. I feel like I'm locked in, where I'm like, whoa, switching things around. New word.
No, this is not a game for dyslexics.
No, it's not.
I really like cribbage. That's how I learned to count. Like, I feel like I really didn't learn how to do like basic math until cribbage. I still add everything up to 15.
I don't know if I think I played cribbage as a kid, but I don't know it.
I'll have to teach you one day. But apparently I'm a bad teacher per Christopher.
Well, you're very rigid with your teaching, and if someone doesn't get it, you get frustrated with them.
I'm not meant
Instead
to
of just trying to like teach it in a different way.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm sorry you don't understand.
Well, screw you then.
Stop being so terrible.
Stop being so dumb. Why don't you get this?
Why don't you understand?
Yeah, maybe someone else will teach me and then we can play together.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. I also like Clask.
So I've never heard of this until you mentioned it.
Lily introduced me to it. It's this weird, I think it's a Swedish game. It's almost like a little minimalist air hockey.
Okay.
Like a little table.
Little circle table?
Yeah. And like the magnet doll houses, like the fancy one that Stephanie had, where you had like the magnet wand under it. And
I love that dollhouse.
The dolls had magnets.
And I have a pizza secret about that dollhouse, but I'll wait till she's on our episode.
And you could move the doll through the floor with the magnet. It's kind of like that, but you have your little defender, and you're trying to knock the little ball into your opponent's little hole. And
so air hockey with magnets on a small table.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's how I describe it. That's a fun one.
That I want to play.
Yeah, we can play it. That's a good crowd pleaser.
I think also with like board games, there's so many different kinds that you can easily find one that everybody likes.
Yes. And that one doesn't really have any like rules that you have to know. You can teach someone in a few minutes. And that's nice too.
Like the really complicated board games, like here's like a bonus pizza secret. When I lived right outside of Portland, Oregon, I went with a boyfriend of mine to a game night at it was like a Bernie Sanders supporter game night at like a game store where they had like figurines you could play. They had all the video games. They had all these like really unique board games. And my boyfriend at the time was like, let's go. And I was like, okay, oh my gosh, I love board games. Thinking we were going to do like Monopoly, Categories, Life, Candyland. No Candyland there. We get up there. There's like 3 other people. They're all men. I am the only lady.
Yeah.
And
I told you that.
This is bad. And they're like, oh, we've just started playing, but you guys can hop in. Let me tell you the rules. Pulls out like a 2-inch thick rule book. And it's like this weird farming game where it kind of reminded me of, remember in Parks and Rec?
Oh, Cones of Dunshire.
It was something like that. It was like very complicated.
It wasn't Settlers of Catan, was it?
I don't know. I've never played Settlers of Catan.
Settlers of Catan has like the
hexagons?
Yeah, the hexagons.
I think it was, but it was like Settlers of Catan on crack because you needed to get like money, but also farming equipment, and like it was just like so complicated. And he's just like rattling off rules. He's like, but make sure not to do this. And my boyfriend at the time is like, got it. Okay, you got it. And I'm like, no. Can we like team up? And he was like, and then we started just chatting, and the guy, I was like trying to like, okay, can you explain this again? And then they just go, let's pick a different game. And then I ended up getting not kicked out, but I was asked to leave.
Were you?
I was.
Why?
Because it's like
just say it. It was a socialist
It was
meeting.
a socialist event.
There's nothing wrong with being a socialist.
Well, yeah. So it was a socialist event. And I made the comment, because I'm so stupid, at a socialist event with all men who are all very much Bernie Sanders supporters. I said, it's a shame that Bernie Sanders will never be president because he's too socialist for our time now.
That's absolutely correct.
Isn't it like a very realist thing to say?
Yes.
And lo and behold, guess who's not president? Silence. And so my
that
boyfriend.
is an awkward thing to say out loud.
Well, we were all talking like political things, right? And they were like, when he's president, this is going to happen. And I was like, who is on crack here? You know?
You're
Excuse
right.
me.
It's ignorant of the current political climate.
Right. Like, let's be reasonable. I would love it, but I just don't think that is going to happen.
No, and the Democrats specifically made sure that it didn't happen because he's too socialist for the Democrats.
Oh, my God. So my boyfriend was like, oh, can you just, like, get me a beer downstairs? And I was like, yeah, sure, of course. And then he also went downstairs with me. He's like, we have to leave. I was like, what? He's like, that was not the right thing to say. We are on the road.
Whatever. You are in the right. And those guys suck.
I'm sorry. I was just real about it. I'm not saying I didn't want him. I'm just saying that I'm just speaking realistically.
Yes, and it's not being negative. It's more like
pizza fucking secret.
Pizza fucking secret.
It's not secret. It's just reality.
Yes, because you're refusing to look at the deeply ingrained systems in our society, including like white supremacy at the base of everything in this country. And Bernie Sanders is the only person who's like, what are we doing here? What are you talking about? Let's change things.
Let's change everything as a whole.
The system won't allow for it.
Anyway, this is supposed to be a thing about board games.
We've already
I got kicked out of a socialist game night.
Okay.
Pizza secret. That's a bonus secret.
Yeah, that was a good pizza secret.
Can we talk about games we hate and why we hate them?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
Every time I play Risk, I end up quitting and yelling at my brother because he is maniacal. He's maniacal. He wins every time. This is his strategy. Wait for everybody else to quit. He's the worst. I hate it. I hate it so fucking much. He picks just Australia. He puts all of his people in Australia. There's only 2 territories in Australia, right? Puts everything. This is what his strategy every single time. I was like, this piece of shit. I'm going to get everything. I thin out my troops a little bit, just a little bit. And then he just like waits for the right moment. And then he makes a move and he just sweeps the board. And he's like stupidly lucky. Like I hate people who are like naturally lucky. And he's like, 6s again. Looks like you just lost Africa. And I'm like, fuck, you kidding me?
Well, it just sounds like Nick's good at risk.
He's very good at
strategy.
risk. And he knows that I get really upset because he does it all at once. He does this like big broad sweep across like Asia, and then he goes to Africa, and then he goes to South America, North America, finally takes Europe because Europe is the hardest to hold. And it's just like you just watch your whole empire fall apart, and you're just like, and it's not like this will take about 3 hours. It is a whole day event. We stop and we take breaks for this. We have the board set up.
I've never played a full game of Risk because of exactly what you just
always
described.
quit.
Yeah,
I've always
it sounds
quit.
terrible.
It's so bad.
Just don't do it.
He does the same thing with Monopoly.
Ugh.
He takes the cheapest ones and puts like, if you have a good Monopoly/risk strategy so I can finally beat my brother at the game that he loves, crush him from the inside out.
Yep.
Please write in at weirdsofeather@gmail.com. What does he do? He does the same thing. He will pick one, like the yellows, which aren't very expensive, right? For Monopoly.
Yeah, they're kind of halfway, maybe.
The yellows or the browns or something like that.
I haven't played Monopoly in so long. I hate it, personally.
Anyway, yeah, I don't like it either. And he picks that and he just builds like multiple hotels on those. So that's all he has. It's just those. And he builds them up and he builds them up and builds them up, instead of me where I spread my stuff too thin. And then you just land on it once and then you're like bankrupt.
Yep.
And then you land on it again and you're like, ah!
Yeah, I fucking hate Monopoly. It's so stressful.
So stressful.
It's almost like capitalism sucks and it's really stressful and not a good system. And it's not a fun game to play.
It's not a fun game
I don't want to do capitalism in real life. Why would I want to play it as a fucking board game?
This sucks.
Oh, not enough capitalism for me today. Let me go home and act this out for fun. Fuck you, Monopoly.
The worst game to ever be created. Perfection.
Yes.
Have you ever played this? For those of you who
I worked
don't,
in a preschool. Of course, I played Perfection.
For those of you who don't know what Perfection is, you have a lot of like oblong shapes that you have to put very precisely in the little squares.
Is that the one that has like all the different shapes?
Yes,
right?
all the different yellow shapes,
yes.
And you have to put them in the blue holes, but each shape is different. So you have to find the certain hole for the certain shape, and it takes a while because everything looks the same.
Plus, I have a visual processing disorder. I just realized. And it's always felt so stressful and hard.
Right. So then it is timed. And if you cannot complete it by the timer, then the whole thing blows up and all your work is gone. And
like
it's
literally,
the
whole thing shakes.
The whole thing shakes. And it's so stressful. Look this game up. It's the worst game. It's like how to create an anxiety disorder in a child. This is it. That game. That's it.
That's what did it?
That's what did it. That was it. No, there's a lot of other things. It was the most stressful game I've ever played. It's the tick, 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 tick. It's the trying to, all the shapes, they look similar, but they're just slightly different. And it's racing the clock. And then the physical act of the board like exploding when you fail is just like failure.
And it's like all your hard work is now being tossed.
You failed.
Okay, but now that we're talking about stressful preschool games, have you ever heard of the game called Don't Wake Daddy?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay,
wait. You have to explain it to me again.
I don't really remember it. I just remember seeing it for the first time ever in my life at the preschool, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Don't Wake Daddy.
I am opening up another YouTube ad.
It's something where you don't want to wake Daddy, and he like pops out of bed. Something about him popping out of bed.
I remember it, but I don't remember it. I feel like I have to Don't Wake Daddy board game.
Ugh. Don't Wake Daddy. Also, while you're looking at that, another game I do like, Hungry Hungry Hippos.
That's a great game.
That's a great one.
That's a great game.
Very active. Mousetrap.
Mousetrap I could never do because I could never...
It's a lot of setup.
It's too much setup.
Yeah.
It's too much.
If someone else would set up for me, I liked it.
Oh, here's the original commercial. 1992.
That makes sense.
I remember this.
You've got to sneak into the kitchen for a snack without waking Daddy. Land on a noise, and you have to press Daddy's alarm clock. Will he wake up?
This is like kind of adorable.
I don't like that's called Daddy.
I don't.
Why can't it be Don't Wake Dad?
Don't wake Dad.
Daddy.
Don't wake my adult.
Don't wake my adult father figure.
They're trying to be like alliteration.
Yes. I mean, Don't Wake Dad is still an alliteration.
Very true.
Without the sexual aspect of it. Don't wake Daddy. I know I'm making it weird, but it's weird.
Daddy has sleep apnea, so it's really easy to do. He wakes himself up in the night because he can't breathe.
Silly Daddy.
Silly Daddy.
Yeah, I just
Daddy and his CPAP machine. We're going to make a different game.
Okay.
It's called Daddy and his CPAP machine.
If you thought you liked Don't Wake Daddy.
It's literally just a CPAP machine. You just have to put it together because it's really difficult to put together.
And very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
The game is not very much fun. Okay, let's have a couple other games that I really love now that I'm thinking about it. Trouble. I love Trouble.
Okay, Trouble's a great
decision and there's skill.
I like Trouble a lot. And you get to kick out other people.
Yeah, and that's fun.
That's always fun.
And I really like Rummy, the card game. Rummy.
I guess I haven't played Rummy.
I love Rummy. My mom is all about Rummy.
I remember your mom taught my brother how to do Rummy, and I decided I'm not going to learn because I don't want to lose to him.
Wow, this has been a lifelong feud.
I just want to say I did beat him at Mario Kart the other day, and I'm really proud of myself.
Congratulations. Pidgey stars? Oh, Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Nice.
Because
so
now
all on your own merit.
All on my own merit.
Wow.
I did lose to Christopher, but that
doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
And then also Spit, the card game Spit. I don't know if that's a globally known game. If you know what Spit is, let me know, because it's personally my favorite card game. It involves slapping. Hands, not faces.
Have you played BS?
Yes. Ooh, I do.
You
like
just
BS.
have to lie to people. I realize I'm a terrible liar, so I'm really good at that. So I'm really terrible.
I like BS. It works on my lying skills.
I played with Gracie and Nick on Pride. We were at a brewery. He goes, honey, no, you are a terrible liar. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, Gracie's a great liar. You are really bad.
I'm like the worst.
Yeah, and even if you do kind of pull it off, the second someone questions you or looks at you, you're going to crumble.
Yeah.
You're going to smile.
I got to say it with confidence and then just walk away.
Yeah, you can't have a follow-up. Okay.
Yeah,
that was my games.
Yeah. If you have any games that you want to talk about and we didn't talk about here, you can write us in at Weird as a Feather. If you have any game recommendations, I'm always up for game night.
Yes.
I don't know how we would do this on like Stitcher or something. If we could have like a real life game night.
Not Stitcher. Discord. Stitcher's just a
guys.
podcast
I am
platform.
Up with the technology.
You know so much technology.
I know that there are cookies.
Yep, and you know you like them.
Yep.
Yes, we could do maybe a Discord game night. Maybe. If you guys would be into that, let us know.
If anybody wants to lose to me on Mario Kart on Nintendo Switch, hit me up.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We could do video games, maybe.
I totally could do that. This is supposed to be games in IRL, so...
But, yeah, this could be a call-out for any kind of game.
Any kind of game.
Any kind of dough. All right. Well, with that said...
It's time for Alternative Segments! Alternative! Wow! Segments!
All right. On this week's Alternative Segment, we're doing... Things we always wanted to try from the movies, Controversial Edition.
Except it's not that controversial.
No, they're not. And if you couldn't understand that, it's things we always wanted to try from a movie, Controversial Edition.
Except it's not that controversial.
Yeah, well, it really started because Ian's was a bit controversial. And I
think his is adorable.
Yeah, I guess it's adorable.
Things we've always wanted to try from the movies, regular edition.
You'll agree with us edition.
Yeah.
All right, give us your...
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Whatever the acronym is. All right, go.
I want to try the lembas bread from Lord of the Rings. And those of you who are not Lord of the Rings fans, let me just explain. The elves have some sort of bread. It looks like a dry biscuit. Now, I know you're like, ugh. But it fills you up for the entire day. Like nutritional requirements sustained.
That's my dream.
Right? You just take a little bite.
It's like a food cube.
And then Legolas is like, one small bite can sustain a man for an entire day, or something stupid like that.
Oh my God,
right?
that's amazing.
Right? You just take a little bite, a little nib, and they wrap it in these cute little leaves. It's got a bow. It's adorable.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think that's controversial. I agree.
I'd like that because I think meal prep would be really easy.
Yeah, and then you could just eat when you want to and not when you have to.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
If only.
And also like world hunger, you know.
Yeah, that also could, yeah. Wouldn't that be grand?
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice?
My other one, because I have two. My other one is I would like to dive gracefully off a cliff perfectly and land without any sort of repercussion, like the Disney version of Pocahontas.
Okay.
But like the wind's in her hair and she's like, let me just dive right in. And there's like no splash and she's not like shattered into pieces.
It's like the most perfect dive.
The perfect is from an incredible height.
Was that the water? Did she jump off like the waterfall or whatever?
She like jumped off this huge cliff.
Yeah.
No, she's like up listening to the wind or something. And then she just is like, oh, okay, time to go home. Dives. And it's like this like 100-foot tall cliff. And her friend's like, oh, silly. I'm like, she just like almost died. Like professionals can't even do that, you know? Like an Olympic diver would have a hard time with that one.
It's almost like it's a cartoon.
Yeah. And then, so my question always was like, they're in a river. Like it can't be that deep, right?
I think that's part of the thing of why it was so scary that she did it, because she's good at shallow diving, I guess.
Yeah. There were no signs though, to her credit. There were no like, please do not dive signs.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to do that, but I know I never will because I'll die.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah. Grace, what are your things you always want to try from movies?
Okay, well, Ian is kind of the one that came up with this alternative segment.
Sure.
We were watching Willy Wonka, the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Was this recently?
Yeah, like a few weeks ago. That was like my number one favorite movie growing up, other than Old Yeller, as we've discussed. But my grandma had
such a
Willy
hot
Wonka.
Taste.
My grandma had Willy Wonka on VHS at her house, and whenever we would go visit, I would get to watch Willy Wonka, and I absolutely loved it. My favorite movie. And Ian also loves it, and so we're like, let's watch Willy Wonka. And he really wants to do, you know, when the mom is singing that fucking song, Cheer Up, Charlie. I hate
Cheer Up, Charlie.
No, it's going to be stuck in my head. It gets stuck in my head. Ian and I skip it every single time we watch it. We skip that song.
The worst.
But he really wants to stir the big pot of clothes the way that she's like stirring the clothes, as if it's a fun thing and not like they're incredibly poor and all the grandparents sleep in one bed and this woman is forced to take care of this whole family by boiling clothes. Right.
You know what really pisses me off about that movie?
Is that Grandpa Joe immediately can find the energy to get out of bed to go to the chocolate factory?
Yes.
I thought you were disabled, Grandpa Joe.
Yeah,
I thought you were in bed
all day, and then all of a sudden you wake up, your poor daughter is slaving over the four of you.
They have been in bed for 25 years. That's
25
the other thing.
years?
It's either 20.
That's so much care.
He says, I haven't stood up in 20 years.
20 years.
20 years. She's been caring for this fucking grandparent bed for 20 years.
20 years?
Charlie is starving.
He has no bed sores, first of all. That is a feat.
Yeah, 20 years
also, without one bed sore.
How do they go to the bathroom? You haven't stood up in 20 years. Where
they
are they pooping?
shit in the bed. That's what happens.
They're just shitting in the bed?
Yeah, you have to clean them up. That's what happens.
So is that why she's boiling? Is it poop
Probably.
sheets?
It's probably poop sheets.
Oh, Ian, you want to stir the poop sheets.
Poop sheets. I'm sure there's bleach in there.
That takes the romance out of that idea.
Their clothes look super clean. She's doing a great job.
There's no way she's changing their bed sheets every day. They can't afford that.
She probably changes it once a day. That's what she can afford to do.
No way. There's got to be another way. What
she
if they all have
two
holes?
sets? One's there, and then at the end of the day, she's like, "All right, get all your poops out and change the sheet."
Time to release those poops.
Because they didn't have diapers back then.
I like to think that they all have.
They did.
I think they did. Probably cloth diapers.
Yeah,
maybe
she probably had washed cloth diapers.
I'd rather wash a cloth diaper.
This goes back to: is it harder to change an adult diaper or a baby diaper?
Adult diaper, 100%. Would you rather change Grandpa Joe's diaper?
At least Grandpa Joe could help. He could probably take it off. Now he can.
Only if you're offering him a chocolate factory visit.
It like drives me insane. I remember as a child, I was like, interesting.
Oh, I was just screaming about it when we were watching it.
Charlie, he's like, you know what? Instead of my mom, who really could use a break for the day, let me bring this deadbeat of a grandpa.
Okay, but watching it back, I do have to say, to stand up for Charlie a little bit, the mom was the one who said, no, don't let him believe that he can get a golden ticket.
She's being a realist.
But
she's being a realist.
But Grandpa Joe had him keep the hope, and that's the only reason why he kept looking. Otherwise, his mom would have crushed his spirit by being like, no, you're poor, and you'll always be poor and unlucky. And don't hope for anything, because life will crush you.
I wonder why she feels that way, because she's poor, and she's always been poor. Now she has to take care of
But
4 people who are disabled.
Your duty as a parent is to not project that onto your child. Let them be crushed by the world or not, you know? So Grandpa Joe, I do have to hand it to him. While he may have been a real sack of shit, literally
He's
sitting in his own excrement, in the other sense, he did keep Charlie's hopes up, and he was, he was the one keeping him carrying this hope. And maybe because of that, Charlie manifested the ticket out in the universe and he ended up getting it. And so if it were his mom, he would have stopped trying and he would have been a negative Nancy and he would have never thought that he could achieve anything in life.
All right. I'll give you that. I still think the mom is the true hero, keeping the fam together.
I'm not against the mom. I'm not anti-mom. I understand her position. She has a really fucking terrible life.
You think the Oompa Loompas take care of the rest of them now? The grandparents?
Probably, yeah. But also,
they're probably in medical debt.
Just because you're in that situation doesn't mean that you have to project all of your negativity onto a child. I don't think it's responsible for an adult to crush a child's spirit just because this probably won't happen or because life is terrible for them. It's let them figure that out on their own. It's I don't know.
If we ever get a Patreon, we should continue this conversation on the Patreon.
Yes.
I think we're getting out of hand.
How did we get onto this rant? This wasn't even mine.
You wanted to stir clothes in a pot. That's
Ian wanted to stir clothes in the pot.
It wasn't even you.
No. Mine is I think the riverboat in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they act like it's so scary. I think it looks cool.
It looks super cool.
I would love to go on
all
that
the
riverboat.
neon lights and everything. Yeah.
Don't know which way it's going.
I mean, he's a really bad singer. I prefer him not.
Is blowing. Yeah, it's really
staring
creepy.
at me.
I like it.
Well, I'm trying to enjoy the ride, and you're creepily humming at me.
It's eccentric. I like it.
All right.
And he makes really intense eye contact. It's
a
great performance.
The eye contact.
Okay.
I hope you're enjoying this boat ride.
All right, and then my other one that's not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the Matilda cake. The come on, Brucey, you can do it. The big chocolate cake where Brucey is forced to eat the giant chocolate cake in front of the whole school. He has to eat every single bite. Remember? And he's covered in chocolate cake.
I don't remember Matilda that much.
Trunchbull makes him eat the cake because I think he took a bite of it. Yeah, and he was
super abusive.
And so she did it. Well, yeah, the Trunchbull was very abusive. She put him in the chokey.
Oh, that's right, the chokey.
Yeah, this is nothing compared to the chokey. But she wanted to shame him in front of the whole school by calling an assembly and making him eat this chocolate cake in front of everyone. And it's like a triple chocolate cake. Mm-hmm. And he does it. They're all chanting for him. And they cheer him on. And he does it. But I think the cake looks absolutely delicious. It is my ideal perfect cake.
You I'm not a big chocolate cake person.
Love chocolate on chocolate on chocolate.
I love the carrot cake that you got me the other day. That was beautiful.
That was good.
Thanks.
I don't want a ganache. I just want classic chocolate cake. I want Matilda cake. All I want is Matilda cake.
You're from New England. It's a ganache.
Ganache. I don't like a ganache. I don't like a ganache. I don't like a mousse. I just want
mousse is too much.
Yeah,
I need one bite of mousse, and then I'm like, meh.
Yeah, not for me. All right, this episode's getting way too long.
Way too long.
So let's wind down this alternative segment. Wow! Alternative segments. All right, we are getting to the end, but we're not quite at the end.
We are
trotting our way
to the station.
Trotting our way to the station.
And here we go. It's pizza secret time.
Yeah, we are doing it.
The secrets. Doing the secrets.
Yep.
You want to get for the song?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do the cue.
All right.
Pizza secrets. Tell me your secrets. Pizza secrets. I'm excited. I want to share mine so you can share yours last because I'm excited for yours.
I'm nervous about mine.
I think it's okay. So we're all supportive of you and we all love you and I'm excited about this.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Mine is called Accidental Craigslist Swindler.
Okay.
Recently I bought a house. I have no furniture. So to Facebook Marketplace I go. /Craigslist.
Yes.
I think it's actually, I need to rename mine. Damn it. The Accidental Facebook Marketer Swindler.
Facebook Marketer Swindler?
Yeah. Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. I think Craigslist Swindler is better.
Anyway. So my mom found, and then she never actually sends me the link. She takes a picture on her computer and then sends me the picture that she took on her phone of her computer. So then I have to find it later.
Helpful.
That's what she does.
Yep.
She's really up with the tech.
That must be where you got it from.
Yeah.
Tech runs in my blood.
Right. So she sent me the photo, and then I found the link, and I messaged this guy. I was like, hey, I'm really interested. But for this dining set, he was going to charge like $800. And I was like, I do not have that money. Also, it needs to be reupholstered, which my mom said she could do. I will keep you updated on that. Hobby collector. Yep. Maybe. Probably not. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay this amount of money for something that needs work done. Like the whole cushion is like kind of ripped apart on one of the chairs. No. So I was like, you know what? I'll take this amount of money. We're starting to like bargain here. We're starting to dicker if you're from Maine.
Dicker down?
Yeah. But then he like never responded. I'm like, you responded once, but you're not responding again. Like, what the heck?
Let's get dickering.
Right? And it was it was in New Hampshire, but we were in the New Hampshire area anyway. And I was like, I don't want to go down to New Hampshire twice. Like, I hope he had messaged me back. It's been like over 24 hours. He hasn't said anything. And I'm like, shit. I would like to know about this. So I said I would pay him like $600. And then Christopher, he's like, this is ridiculous. He's like, we need to figure this out. So he emails him from a different email address, from his email address. He offers $500. And then the guy like immediately gets back to me. He's like, if you can pick it up today, I'll get $600 it is.
Oh.
And I was like, sweet. And then after I agreed to it, Christopher was like, oh yeah. I might have offered $500. And I was
that was a good move.
So like kind of, I like almost feel bad that I kind of swindled this guy. But one, he was asking way too much. Like, is it an antique? Sure. But it needs work.
A justified swindle.
A justified swindle.
Yeah.
Facebook marketer, swindler.
Marketplace. You're so savvy.
Yeah, that's me.
Good swindle.
I swindled someone and I feel bad about it.
You barely swindled someone. It's not like you. I thought you were
out of like $200.
You offered $600.
Yeah.
And Christopher offered $500.
Yeah.
And he took the $600.
Yeah.
He was asking too much on the $800.
He was definitely asking way too much. You've seen the table.
Yeah. Which nice, but I wouldn't pay $800 if I had to upholster.
I think he was trying to like play up the like it's an antique and it's mid-century modern, which is super in right now. And I was like, I know what you're trying to pull here. But also, no one is going to want to reupholster that except for me.
You tell him.
Anyway, pizza secret. Let's hear yours. I'm ready. I was here for this and I love it.
I've been saving this one. This is deep in my shame bucket.
Deep in shame. Well, you shared all of the pizza secrets you could ever have last week, right?
Oh, I can have way more. But yeah, I shared a lot of pizza secrets last week with my nonverbal
or like the week before
disorder.
Or something. I forget what week
Whenever that was.
Yeah.
I told a lot of them because a lot of them are based on my nonverbal learning disorder.
That's fair.
But this one is just based in me being a smart businesswoman. This one is called Guess You Shouldn't Have Parked There. So when Kristin and I lived in a house together, our first house together.
It was made out of cardboard.
Yep. Junior year of college. Yep.
It's no longer there. It's condemned. I checked.
Oh, shit. That's the second house we've lived in that has been condemned.
Yeah. We're on a roll here.
Our Brookline apartment has also been condemned.
Yeah, but now that's built into a beautiful condo.
Oh, good. I'm happy for you.
The other one is, it's like a no longer existent house. Like it's just a vacant lot there.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah.
Just let it lie. So I think this was the fall semester because then the second semester this year, I was going to study abroad in Australia. So I was only going to live in this house for first semester, then go to Australia second semester. We lived right across the street from McDonald's because it's classy.
Because location.
That's what they say.
Right.
Took that advice and we moved in across from McDonald's.
Right.
All right. So they have this huge parking lot at McDonald's and there were like other restaurants over there too.
There's a KFC/Taco Bell.
Yep.
That I frequented.
There was a Governor's.
Great
local place. But so there was a ton of parking across the street from us. Like so much parking.
There was many options.
Yes. We get home to our house one night and there's this random car parked in our driveway. And we were living with, there were 5 of us. It was us and our friend Megan and then 2 others who shall not be named. Mm-hmm. And there was this random car that just decided, I guess, to park in one of our spots, even though there was a full fucking parking lot directly across the street. We didn't know who this person was, didn't know where this car came from. And they just left it there for like multiple days.
Right. And then they finally showed up one day.
Did they?
Yeah, and we talked to them, or at least I talked to them. I was like, is this your car? And they're like, yeah, like, we're just waiting for the tow truck, but can we keep it here for one more day? And then like 2 days go by.
The tow truck, you shouldn't have been there at all. We didn't know them. They weren't with us in any capacity. There's no reason they should have been parking at our house. We had very few parking spots. I'm not going to go park at McDonald's. I live here.
I just want to say, if that was in Boston, that car would have been keyed, the windows smashed, and towed.
So fast.
So
day
fast.
One. We gave them quite a few days, I would say.
We gave them like almost a week.
So one night we're getting back to the house. The fucking car is still there. We are drunk, I want to say. The windows are down in this car.
Yep.
And I hadn't bought a parking pass yet for campus for my own car. And I felt justified at the time, and I still do. I was fired up, and I was like, I'm just going to steal their parking pass because their windows were down.
Yeah, and they also lied to us. They said it wasn't going to be there for more than a day after it was there for so long because we were like, hey, there's like 5 people who need to park here. Like,
and it didn't need to be there at all.
Right,
Rude.
and they're like, oh, the truck's coming tomorrow to get it. Can you just wait one more day? We'll get it out of your hair. And we were like, fine. And then it's like 2 more days. So now we're all like mad because we had to like rearrange our parking issue.
Yes. So of course it's a thing where the group is mad and then I'm the one who does the bad behavior.
Yeah.
I feel like
and now you're blamed.
Story of my life. But I stole their parking pass. I used it all semester. I did get a ticket on the parking pass.
Nice.
On campus.
What'd you get a ticket for?
I was parked in a, I don't know, no parking zone or whatever.
Nice.
It wasn't a...
As one does.
Yeah. It wasn't like a disabled spot. It was...
like... Our other friend who parked in a handicapped spot.
Yes.
It was at the library at night. And she said, but it was at night.
Because disabled people don't leave the house at night.
I just wanted to slap her when she said that.
Yeah, where's the logic in that? I've heard people say that before, actually. Extremely
They come
ableist.
out at night, too. Believe it or not.
Yeah, people with disabilities also emerge in the nighttime. Sometimes they need to go to the library even at night.
Even in the night.
And they don't just keep business hours. Fancy that. So I got a ticket for parking just like, where it's like the lines, you shouldn't park there. I parked there. It was at the library, actually.
There's like no parking at the library.
I know. I could go on a whole fucking rant about having to buy a parking pass when I'm already paying so much money to go to this fucking school. Anyways.
Right.
So I got a ticket on it. Nothing happened with it that I knew of. Like I got away with stealing the parking pass. Nothing ever became of it. The people didn't come and confront us. So then I go and I'm in Australia now. I get a phone call from my mom while I'm in Australia saying that some woman with the school had called her because they realized that the person had, I guess, reported this parking pass stolen. So they had like the number. They knew what number was on the parking pass. Then I had gotten a parking ticket.
Oh, shit.
With their parking pass number, but my license plate. And they, the school put it together. And so my mom essentially called me and was like, hey, someone from the school is calling me with like a legal matter of you having this parking pass. And they said it was stolen out of their car. And the quick thinking liar that I am on my feet, I said that I bought it from someone at a party and I didn't realize it was stolen. Pretty good cover, right?
Shit, you're a really good liar.
Right? Because I said that someone had like bought the parking pass, but then they didn't actually end up needing their car that semester, so they didn't use the parking pass, and I bought it.
That's a good lie.
Right? I thought of it so fast. I'm usually actually not very good at thinking on my toes.
You know what? That's so impressive. All is forgiven in my book.
Thank you, Kristin. I don't think my mom would agree. I think my mom... Good thing she doesn't listen to this podcast. I think my mom would be very disappointed that I lied to her like that, because that's a big lie. But it was a good one.
It's a big lie, but it's a good lie.
That's a big good lie.
So, who ended up paying for the parking ticket?
I think I might have paid, or probably my mom paid for the parking ticket, but I don't think I ever got in any trouble. But it was like I was going to get in legal trouble for stealing this parking pass and then getting this ticket on it. And I think if I hadn't gotten the ticket, I would have gotten away with it.
If it wasn't for those meddling parking meter people.
Yeah, it's all them.
Dang
meter readers. Damn you. But and I don't feel shame about stealing it. I feel a little bad about lying to my mom so blatantly about it. But also, what else was I going to do? Tell the truth? No.
You're in Australia.
I'm in Australia. I'm just trying to fucking hang out in Australia, live my best life. I'm not looking to like take accountability.
I didn't know you were going to get in legal trouble.
Yes.
Shit.
It was like scary for a second until I thought of my sweet, sweet lie.
I just want to make a disclaimer. When you send in your pizza secrets, please don't send in your crimes, listeners.
This one was almost a crime. It wasn't, because I lied.
It was a petty
so it was
crime.
A crime.
Yeah.
It was a crime I got away with. If you got away with a crime,
Yeah,
let us know.
No.
Send in your best kept secret crimes.
No, no.
All right. I feel like, what about a mild? That's a mild crime.
A pizza secret. I want a pizza secret. I want.
What about a justified, very mild crime, misdemeanor crime? That was a justified misdemeanor crime.
You can send it and we will decide whether or not to read it.
Yes, we will be the judges. I guess this is the line. I think this specific pizza secret
that's as criminal as it gets.
Yes. Me breaking the middle school window was like the peak of child crimes.
Right.
Me stealing this parking pass, I think, is the peak of how much of real crime we can share before it goes into like, all right, that's just, you're now just straight up doing crimes.
This is a criminal.
Yeah, we need to like call someone. Not that I would. ACAB. Anyways, send in your very, very mild justified crimes, I would say.
And write the justification down.
Yes, let us know why it was deserved and why you feel like you were in the right.
And let us know if you would like us to share it, because I'd love to share it, but if you don't want us, if you just want to, a pizza secret among friends, that's okay too.
Yeah, or we can make it anonymous.
Yeah. I think that's our show.
Yeah, I think we gotta wind this down.
Yeah, if you enjoyed our show today or any other day, you can listen to us at all of the places where you get your podcast. So Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, Stitcher, Podbeam. You can rate us 5 stars only.
Yep.
You can write us a review. That actually really helps us.
Yes, write us a review, please. And they're fun to read.
Yeah, we always read them, and I love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, they're a joy.
Yeah, you can also write us in at weirdsofafeather@gmail.com.
You can follow us on Instagram at Weirds of a Feather, and you can DM us also on Instagram.
Yeah, we post polls after every episode, so watch out for polls.
Literally, you have to watch out for them because they come at different times and days.
I'm trying to do Mondays.
All right.
Or Sundays.
Okay, so keep an eye out. Sometimes you do Tuesdays. Just keep an eye
out.
Just always be looking at our stories. How about that?
And we are on TikTok.
Not really.
We are there.
We are in the Facebook group. That's more active.
We are in the Facebook group, though. Yeah, the Facebook group is the newest addition to our social media. And I think it's going well. We got a lot of people on there chatting about things. I took a poll the other day. I think it went well.
Yeah, lots of good chats.
Yeah, I love hearing from the Facebook group. Everybody's very supportive.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, everybody's writing in really nice stuff. So it's a nice little community we have up there on the Facebook group.
Yep. Okay.
We're riding in. You want to call us out?
Yep. Thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
How can I compete?
You can't. Let's just end it there.
I want to do whistle.
That's a nice one.
Bird on the go.
Woo-hoo! Feel like you're at the sea?
I do. I'm hiding my hot dog from you.
Foghorn.
The scuttle.
That sounded like Scuttle. I was going to say that.